guys, welcome back to my garden. If you're new here, my name is Laurie and I live in gardening zone 7A here in northern Utah, and it's a gorgeous spring day. As you can see, it's evening, the sun's about ready to go down, and I thought it would be the perfect time to show you all the beautiful things that I have blooming here for spring. It was kind of hard for me to time this video just right because some of the tulips are fading and some haven't quite opened up, so I'll try to insert some videos if I post this a few days later and they've opened up so you guys can see all them in all their glory, because everything just turned out really beautiful. So we're going to do one whole big garden tour because there's not a ton, but there's quite a few things. I'm not going to go through and name every little plant in my yard, but we'll just talk about a few things. So the weather has been so nice here. We did have a few days where it was like near 80 and it's cooled back down into the 60s, and it's just been perfect. I wish it could stay like this for quite a while, but it does heat up quite quickly here in Utah. But let's take a minute to look at everything. So we'll start up here on our back deck. We haven't had time to get our furniture out, but I'm hoping we can do that this weekend. But I'm hardening off some snapdragons here. This is the first time I've actually started seeds and transplanted them outside. So I'm really hoping those work out, but they'll be ready to go in, I think, tomorrow. And then over here we've got some gorgeous pansies. This is one that I planted in the fall, and they just get huge if you plant them in the fall, at least in our area. And they give you some color in the winter too, which is really nice. I came in and added some of these purple ones, which I love, and some yellow primrose, which has been really nice. And my Dusty Miller, most of it lasted throughout the winter, so that's really nice too. I keep these under here when I have hanging baskets to catch the dripping that happens with them, and then I have a drip pan, and that system has worked really great for me for the last couple years. Same thing in this pot. This one just had a few that lasted through the winter, and same thing, I added the same colors. This Dusty Miller is looking really, really nice. And then these ranunculus are pretty much done, just a few remnants. And this is going to be really pretty. This will go on my table once it's out here, but I haven't quite moved it yet. But I'm just really into purple and yellow this spring. That's pretty much the theme that I have going on in my yard. And then same thing with this. The Dusty Miller didn't quite make it in this one, just in that spot. I'll probably come pull out these other dead ones, but it's almost time in a few weeks to come bring out summer annuals, so that should be really, really fun. Let's make our way down here to these tulips. These have been so beautiful. This is their third year. I thought they were Purple Lady, but I'm not exactly sure what they are. I got them on color blends. They're at the end of their life here, but they've given us some really nice blooms. I'll insert a video of them in their prime, but they're just huge now. It might be time for me to start separating the bulbs a little bit to get a little bit more time out of them, but bulbs naturalize pretty good here in Utah. I'll probably get a few more years, but I love that pink color. So this is my Lady of Shalott Rose. I didn't film me cutting this back this year. It just went crazy last year. Like, this throws out so many canes, and I was a little bit worried because I left it to 2 canes this year, and this one ended up being mostly dead here. I'm still having a hard time identifying when things are dead. At least, I mean, that looked healthy, but this just really turned brown in the last couple weeks, and I was like, oh, that is dead. So I'll probably come and cut this back there to that bud, but look at how much new growth we have going on down here. There's at least 10 or 12 new stems, and I thought I maybe had ruined it, but you guys, this is just going to be amazing. It's just the happiest rose still, and it's my favorite rose. If you check out my rose garden tour, it is just, oh, it's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. And then here are the rest of these. I wish I knew the variety, but I don't. But man, they've really grown quite a bit this year. Just bought a boxwood to plop in that spot right there. It's going to be really nice to have that. And then I have these beautiful violas that I planted this spring with these fall planted blooms. You can see the difference in how much growth they have opposed to when you plant them in fall and spring. But I'm just loving violas this year too. They're just so stunning and intricate, and I definitely want to get more into pansies and violas. Such a pretty blend right here. And then coming down the stairs, I don't think these Diantha survived. We'll see. We'll see if they perk up. I kind of have ideas. I was going to move these anyway into different areas in the yard, but I think I'm going to put some Sweet Romance lavender in here or at the bottom here. Need to work on that. I cut back these knockout roses quite a bit this year too, because I wanted to size control them, and so they're a little bit slow right now in leafing out, but I think they'll be just fine and happy and dandy. But look how vibrant everything is out there. I love those big bright pops of green from the spirea that you can just really catch where those are. Oh, and we have some ducky friends. Let's zoom in. Always coming to eat our little seed droppings from our bird feeder right there. So cute. Oh, they're adorable. Love that we have those in our yard. Okay, we'll continue on, but I just wanted to give you that nice view, especially with the dark mulch, that contrast. It just makes a huge difference. And I just love spring. And then this is probably the star of the backyard. So gorgeous. The tulips are starting to close up just a little bit because we're getting into evening, but these are the Alibi Triumph tulips, and I love the color of them. Online they look a little more purple, but I actually love this color, and they're even a brighter pink during the day. And I love it with the yellow pansies that I planted in the fall. That was such a good plan to have that in the base. It's just really fun, and I'm planning on keeping these bulbs in here and just planting my annuals around them, and eventually they'll fizzle out, but I'll probably get a good 3 or 4 years with them if I'm careful. You can kind of see the muscari a little bit. It is fading. It's hard to time everything just right, but by the time the tulips got up, they had just barely opened. It was starting to fade. You can see a few pieces here. Let's try to move over here so you guys can see. But they're a really nice light blue color, like this, and so it's more of an icy blue, but I have really enjoyed that combination. I'm really liking the yellow and the purple with just like a hint of pink, and so I would definitely recommend this tulip. It's not super tall, which I actually kind of like. Sometimes I feel like some of the tulips are just super tall, and I kind of like the shorter versions, depending on where you put them. But let's just look at that for a minute. It's just so beautiful. Love that combination. And I'm loving pink this year too. I want more pink in my yard. And then more of that purple and yellow that we had planted in there in the fall, and they just get massive. I hardly have to water that because it's in the perfect spot, and they're just so happy. And let's go take a look at that a little closer. Okay, so here we are. I also had planted this ivy in the spring, and it's been kind of slow, but it's really taken off this year. I've been able to like pull different vines out and move them to different spots. This is almost reaching this spot. As soon as it grows a little more, I'll be able to wrap it around there. But I think this is going to be so much better. I had star jasmine here before, but it just didn't do well in our winter, so I just knew I had to go to ivy. I thought I might regret it, but I think I'm going to be happy. I'll just have to control it a little bit out here, but it's pretty contained in these pots, so I think it should be totally fine. But I'm excited for what I have planned in summer here. But look how beautiful that combination is with that purple and the light pale pink, and I love especially when they start to fade and they are a little bit more pale. So pretty and vibrant and fun. Sometimes it can be hard to find spring colors, at least in my area, in the fall, but I always try to find things that will work for fall and spring, just because they get so big and lush, and they really don't get that big when you just plant them in spring. So this is just really fun though to see this view here, and I'm going to enjoy this for a few years. I'll probably maybe come in and do something a little different next spring. Maybe put in some white pansies in the base and just change it up a little bit. But I definitely could even do more pansies if I wanted to. Here's some more of that muscari. I have not mulched this area only because I'm going to be doing so much digging in here that I told my husband, I'm like, we'll just pile some over here, and then when I'm done with all that, I'll come in and do it, because I'm going to have to be moving mulch. But it was the perfect time for us to lay it down this spring, so I'll just be moving mulch all early summer to get everything planted. This is definitely the star of my backyard, so we're just going to keep looking at it for a minute because it's just so fun. I just love being out here and seeing it. Okay, and then over here, look how beautiful the mountains are with the snow on them. love that. The snow will last up there through June, and it's just one of my favorite sights. So these tulips are fading. I'll put a video clip in here of them when they were in their prime. One of my favorite tulips. These are pretty tall. They looked kind of strange in this area at first because they're so tall and I didn't have a lot in here, but now I have more things in here and they don't look as funny as tall as they are. This is their third year and they're just really nice tulips. They're early bloomers, so they're like the first ones to come out here in my yard. So as you can see, they have faded and they've kind of done their time. And then up on the top here, we have some Winston Churchill daffodils, and I absolutely love these daffodils so much. Let's take a closer look at them up here. Okay, look how fun they are. They're just so sweet and gorgeous, and they really actually have a strong, nice scent. And I love the petal confetti from this. I think this is just a flowering pear tree, but it just makes me happy too, and it smells glorious. Let's get a good look at this tree because it's gotten quite big the last couple years, and I really enjoy that tree. So pretty. Look how cute that pink is with the white. I just absolutely love that combination. Then we have the phlox down there that's starting to bloom, that light lavender shade, which is so fun. So this is a fun view. Pretty soon I'll have some delphinium blooming here. I also have one more that I want to plant there. And then my phlox is coming in really nicely. One of my favorite plants. So that's really nice to see too. And things are just going to start popping up. I planted a peony here. As you can see, it's going to have a few little buds here, some few flowers. This is Bowl of Beauty. It is a little shady here, but I do think it will be okay as the sun moves. As we get more into summer, it'll have a little more sun, and then it'll be really nice when the lupine are blooming right here. So pretty and totally spring. Love it so much. And then as we make our way around here, around this gorgeous pine tree, it had little red buds on it, but they've started to change and open up and be brown. But I love the red buds that this puts on in the early spring. So pretty. And then underneath that, we have this beautiful heather down here. This is the Heath Roth. I just got it at Home Depot or Lowe's a couple years ago, and if it has sun, enough sun, it'll have these beautiful blooms. These have been blooming like that since probably February, so it just blooms forever, and they're really nice delicate blossoms that just stay on there, and it's just the first bright thing that I see out here next to, yeah, it blooms actually before the hellebore, but it's such a fun combo to put together. Eventually someday I do need to switch it because the hellebore are a little taller when they first bloom, but these are so stunning. Love hellebore. It's become one of my favorite flowers, and I have more to show you too, but I just love these, and that color combination with that pink heather is just stunning. So that's about all we have to share here. Let's go look at this pine bed over here. Everything's starting to leaf out. We're getting some daffodils. They're not quite showing yet. We have a few over here that are showing that I'll show you close up. One of my favorite daffodils. And the Menton tulips are just barely starting to open up. These are so pretty. They're kind of a corally pink, and I'll try to get a video of them during the day when they're open so you guys can see. Really pretty. Still need to work on this area. My peonies are all through here, different varieties, and I look forward to them every year. Let's climb over here. Look at my hardy geraniums. This is the Chocolata or something. I'll put the name on the screen, but it's got this dark foliage with purple flowers. Planted 3 here this fall, so I'm super excited to see how those perform. These are the Delganache or something. They're not quite performing as well as they did last year. Let's go take a look at some other ones. But usually they have quite a few areas of peach ruffles in here. But I mean, they're still pretty. They're not quite in their peak, I don't think. Let's go look at these ones over here. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is much more ruffly. Oh, that is my favorite daffodil for sure. Replete is another name of a different one that looks pretty much exact to this, but this one's a little more peach in color, where the other one's kind of a yellow-orange, so I really like this one. I got this one from Color Blends. Looking down on the creek here, we've got some Atlas roses that hopefully get a little bigger this year. I think they kind of struggle in this spot, but I want to try to keep that going. We usually don't have this view, so I'll just give you a nice little view of the creek. My husband keeps putting a lot of scrap wood in our fire pit. We need to have a fire soon and get that all burned. But isn't it just a gorgeous night? That willow tree, the sun shining on it. Just love it. Okay, let's go back out and go down around the creek. Look at all the flags I'm gonna have. So pretty. This is a really dark purple color, so May is going to be really fun because everything else is going to be blooming, and that'll be fun to have that. Okay, let's go along this way. So this is the area that I really struggle with, and I don't think all my cone flowers came back, but I do have some coreopsis that will come back, hopefully, in these grasses. So I don't know. I really need to figure this area out. It just gives me grief. I don't think it's getting enough water. I think that's the issue, so I just need to troubleshoot that. But look at all this heuchera that I put in last fall. Oh my goodness. This is a spearmint from Proven Winners. Next to that, spirea. Oh my gosh, amazing. Some daisies in here, some boxwoods, a barberry bush, which I love the color of, the deep burgundy. And then these kind of redder, I think these are red rover from Proven Winners. And they're just barely starting to come out. These will get quite a bit bigger. And look, we're starting to get some little blooms on these. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? I'll put the name of this one because I can't remember, but the spearmint's a lot cooler toned. So it's fun to see those back. Sometimes those can be hit and miss, but all the Proven Winner ones I planted all came back. Some varieties I've tried have not, so I'm happy about that. Lamb's ear, always stunning. Kind of problematic though, but still stunning. I hate cutting back the blooms on that. But look how pretty this is. I looked back on my video review last year, and this area is just filling in so much more than I thought it had. It was kind of fun to look back, but it's starting to look a little more lush. We can't put mulch and stuff through here because it's just too steep and it will just wash down. So I'm trying to just let that vinca fill in. It's vinca minor. It's doing a good job. Now I'm a little scared that I won't be able to keep up with it, but should be fine. And then we have these, are these snowbells? What are these called? Snowdrops? I think they're snowdrops. Look how pretty. Oh, I really hope these naturalize. They're quite bigger than they were last year. And I have them around several trees, so I don't care if they spread. Here in Utah where it's kind of dry, I don't think they're gonna go super crazy like they do in some areas. But it's just fun. You can kind of see a few of them around here, around this tree, and then I have some around the pine. They're just really fun to have. The ajuga is starting to come in, one of my favorite ground covers. I love the pink color of that one with the purple spike blooms. Oh, just stunning. I definitely am going to transplant more of that throughout the yard because it's just a nice filler to have. Some more spearmint heuchera here. Love this little mix. And then I have some snapdragons that are coming back up from last year. And then we left this pathway because we have a wedding reception in our backyard, so we probably won't start on this project till that is done. But we do want to put some steps in here. It might mean us moving that tree. But so we kind of left this pathway open because we just walk through here all the time. And then we put the mulch just against the rocks. But how beautiful are all those hellebore? And this one's really starting to leaf out. Look at that. These are Ice and Roses hellebore. And then these are like slate. Oh, I'll put the name because I can't remember exactly. But then once they're done blooming, oh, hi spider. Hi guy. This will leaf out and fill in this area against the rocks, and it makes it look really lush here, which is nice because all the other areas look really dry here. It's a really dry spot. And so it'll be fun. I was hoping to have this lamium here as we kind of go down the stairs against the steps here. Lamium is just amazing, and it can be drought tolerant, so it does really well in our area. And so yeah, while things do look a little sparse, they're so much better than last year. That's why we have this orange string here, because my husband's trying to figure out like where to do the stairs and all that. I don't know, all that stuff you have to figure out. And then let's talk about this Chesky Gold birch bush. It is amazing, and in the morning when the sun is on it, it just glows, and it's perfect against the backdrop of that pine tree, that blue spruce, and it's one of my favorite plants. I'm excited to fill this area in with something a little larger. It's quite sunny right here and on the hill, and I need to do a little more research, but so pretty. And then we have this rock cress. Love that plant. It's just really, really nice. Let's go up and around here so you guys can see all the things coming in. The snowdrops are just really happy right there. Get you a little view of the creek back here with the waterfall. It's really starting to feel like spring and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. We have some Back to the Fuchsia Salvia coming in. I'm really excited about that. And I'm loving this combo here. So as I look out the window, I've got the spirea against the 9 bark here, the ajuga, which has that pink, and pretty soon we'll have those purple spikes. And then through here, I just planted this forsythia. This is a sugar baby forsythia. So it is a small version. It gets to be about 2 by 3. And as you can see, it's starting to leaf out now. It's green, it's on its end of its blooming cycle. And I enjoyed that pop of yellow. I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm sure I'll look forward to that every year. Really nice. And then I have a viburnum down there. It's a proven winner variety. I'll put the name on the screen. It's starting to get a little bigger. We're just kind of being patient. But I think that's a good spot for it, and hopefully my hibiscus will just come in nicely and fill in that area. I'm looking forward to that. Here's some tulips that I planted. So these are a proven winners mix. I'll put the name on the screen, but it's interesting because anytime you buy tulips, it's hard to pick out color because it just translates so differently. But these, I thought they were going to be like a purple, pink, and like an orange cream, and they're more like a white, light pale pink, and a light yellow, which I love, but they weren't quite what I expected. But I will say they are really pretty. They're really full, and they just seem really healthy, and their petals are just really thick. So I really like them, and I do kind of like they're a little neutral. Here are the pink ones here. Yeah, even on here they look kind of peach, but they are a little more like blush pink. And I think it's a good mix. I mean, look how pretty they are lined up. So it's been fun, but not quite what I expected, but that's okay. Sometimes that's how it is. And then my allium are going to be so beautiful next to my incredible hydrangeas next month. So you'll see that next month. Okay, let's move over here to the shed pots. These always are, whoa, oh my gosh, a bird. That scared me. It had an animal. It has an animal on its foot. Can you guys see that? It caught something. Sorry, that scared me. Okay, buddy, sorry. Okay, back to the pots. So we have little critters, I think, that are living in this wood pile that kept coming in here and stealing my bulbs this winter. I would come out here and I'd be like, dang, there's big holes. And they were knocking over my fall corn husks. And anyway, so they are little robbers. But here we are again with the yellow and purple mix, and I just absolutely love it. The lamium is starting to come in that I left in here over the winter with some ivy. I'll leave that in. And these tulips, this one's not quite open. I'll show you the ones out front here in a minute that are fully opened, but they have become one of my favorites. And they were one that I was like, I'll stick them in pots. I'm not sure if I'm going to like them that much, and I have loved them. They're such a beautiful shape, and we'll talk about them more out front. But so this wasn't quite the vision, and this is always a little slow because this is mostly shade, only part sun, so it just takes a while to get going. Oh, hi, Piper. Yep, see? There she goes sniffing over there. There's critters in there. That's probably what that bird had in his mouth. It was one of those, or some kind of mole or vole or something. But it's still pretty. Now that it's starting to bloom, it's just slow. It just takes a while. So here's the other one. This one hasn't even opened yet. Like I was saying, this one's not quite blooming yet, but I'm glad we have some of those akabono. I think that's how you say it. That's pretty much all that survived in this one, and I'm going to let them do their thing. They're going to be big and beautiful and perfect with that purple. And then over here we have our shed window box, and I have loved it. I actually have really loved it. It's been so fun to have flowers here in the spring. I think I will keep it up this fall and have pansies planted in it because I just think they'll be bigger and better. We'll see, but I've loved the lettuce. I've even come out here and pulled it back. I had to kind of do that to let the ranunculus get some sunshine. As you can see, they're on their they're on the end of their bloom season, but I had to kind of cut that back so they could get some sun. But I love the they were clear white. Here, let me show you. So they start out clear white like this. then they get really full and open and they bloom forever, and then they turn this pale pink. And these are ones that I just got at Lowe's. So I'll pull these out and save the corums because I definitely love these. And I'll use them again for sure. Love that I added these little violas with this pink primrose. And I just think it's been sweet to have out here and to see flowers out here early spring. I mean, this has been in here for probably 3 weeks or more, and I've really enjoyed it. I'll transplant these hellebores as soon as I'm done here too, because they're almost done filling out. Love it so much. And I love these I love the dark center of these violas with these dark hellebores. It just all came together. I was kind of worried about the color combo, but I think it all turned out really, really nice. Oh, and then we have like a bonus purple viola. How cute is that? Just one guy trying to be different. Super cute. But yeah, we just look out our house window and see this out here, and it just makes me happy. It's so fun. Okay, my peach tree and my pear tree are blooming. Luckily we haven't had any frost. We've been close. Hopefully we'll get some peaches. I did kind of come through and film me pruning this, but I didn't feel good about sharing it because I'm not totally confident about it yet. I came in here pretty confident, but I feel like I cut it back a little hard. We'll see. And then I had a hard time identifying which branches were dead. And so I have some like that one right there that's totally dead. And so I was like, oh my gosh, some of them are just dead. And we'll see. We'll see how she does. I was being really confident and I sprayed it and everything. I did everything for it, and we're just gonna see how it does, and maybe we won't do any pruning next year. Just let her do her thing. But yeah, I also pruned my pear tree and sprayed it, and it's looking really happy. I might throw a net up on this one because last year all the birds stole my pears off before they even had a chance to ripen. So yeah, that's gonna be the plan here. But let's take a look at the creek through here. Really nice. Maybe next year I'll fill this whole thing up with tulips. Wouldn't that be so fun to just have a huge mass of tulips? Makes me tired to think about right now because I've been working so hard, but maybe we'll do that. We'll see. And then coming down our steps here, don't have too much action here yet. We came out and sprayed some weeds in our pathways, but there might be a few, so sorry about that. I mean, there's always weeds. We're never going to be able to fight that 100%, but here we have some lamb's ear, Helen von Stein's. I love this. I love the habit of it, but it's just not as bright as the regular one. And I really like the light minty color of the other one, but this habit is so much better. I don't know. We'll see what I'm gonna do in my yard, but I've transplanted this in a few places and I'm ready to transplant some more. Have some hydrangeas here, some Haconocloa coming in. Hopefully all of it survives. Some beautiful snowdrops. Look how cute they are with the kind of ground cover viola with the purple flowers. So pretty. And then we have the Brunner, which are blooming, which I can stand for a while, but then after a while I come back and cut it down because it starts to look kind of messy. But I came in here and weeded and threw down a little bit of mulch here. This just was some extra that I had that has some manure in it to kind of help this area. It's helped like soften things a little bit because sometimes it can look like there's too much going on down here. But it's just really pretty right now. I mean, look at that mass of like purple blue. So pretty. I love Brunner, one of my favorite plants. And this mass here is really fun. I need to do a few more masses throughout this area. My hostas are coming up. I have more things to plant in here too. So that's going to be fun. I definitely want this to be lush and feel lush. It's definitely kind of a dry hillside. So we'll see how we do. We've got our river birch here, which are absolutely stunning. Love these trees so much. Love the white bark, just gorgeous. And then these pansies in here are what I have left from like fall 2023. They're just little stragglers, but they're hanging on. And it's just funny. I've got some orange and white, and I think that's fun that they're still blooming. And then I love this variegated iris. This will have blue. I have a lot of blue colors down here. Kind of unintentional. I need to be more intentional about things like that from now on. I'm learning. And then some more snowdrops. Okay, not much else to show you back here. Just the beautiful creek flowing. Oh, So nice and clear this time of year too. Just absolutely love it. We'll take a look at the waterfall and then we'll go take a peek out front. So our neighbors cleared out this area. This is their property, actually, most of it, which is really nice. And now I have like a vision of what I maybe want to do in this area to make it really nice. I need to cut back this cloth here. It's driving me crazy, and just focus on this area. But I'm also having a hard time deciding what to do here. But it's nice that it's cleaned up now. And then I did plant this spring, this tree peony. So I wanted to give you an update on it. Look, it's being happy. I'm so excited about that, you guys. It's gonna take a couple years for it to give us some good blooms, but I'm really, really happy about it. Okay, let's go out front. While we're making our way out front, I'll show you this garden area that I've been working on. My hollyhocks are coming up, and I have one Mystic Illusion dahlia from Proven Winners that overwintered. Yay, happy about that. I had 3 here, don't see any signs of any others, and these 2 over here are doing really good too. So I'm hoping to pick up at least 1 more so I can fill in this area. Love them. I'm glad I got 3 though, at least. That's just amazing. And then my ranunculus, they're struggling a little bit, you guys. I probably waited too long, but it's okay. We're trying. We'll just keep watering it. They need to be watered again. They didn't transition very well. But I learned a lot of lessons. I need to start them sooner and get them out here sooner. I'll save the corms and try again. We'll see if we can get any blooms. I'm just crossing my fingers. We'll get some. Planted a bunch of dahlias in here. This will all be dahlias this summer, so I'm super, super excited about that. My raspberries are looking happier. Got those cleaned up. Have a lot of growth on my roses. So that's really nice. Got those all pruned up. And then here we are in the front, looking at all these gorgeous tulips. The pink ones I got from Costco, and it's kind of interesting. I'm gonna have to put the names on the screen because they're not quite the same from what they thought they were. They're a little different from each other. So those are a little taller and bigger, and these are a little shorter, and maybe that has to do with how much sun they got. I'm not sure. Over here we have our Kwanzan cherry tree, one of my favorite things, with some lamium underneath. So gorgeous. Need to fill this area in too. But look at this tree. Oh, it's just so pretty. I love the blooms on this. It's so fluffy and lovely. And oh, I just love it so much. Can't wait for it to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Our friends have a lot of beautiful flowering trees through here too. I believe those are red buds and some more flowering pears. Fun to see that down here. So I have big plans for this area. I'm gonna make a flower bed along this fence and mostly the backyard. So that'll be fun. I'm hoping I can get to that soon. Okay, so let's go here. These were the Costco mix. And then these white ones that I have here are doubles, and I'll put the name on the screen. And they're not quite opening up. I will come in here and put a video of these blooming during the day when they're all more open so you guys can see them. But I'm definitely gonna keep this combo in here, this side strip for sure, because I think they'll do really well. And I just love having the pink and white out front. So I do wish the whole thing was pink and white. As you can see, I planted those peonies there. Look how many buds. These are gonna be white and yellow. Oh, they're so pretty. But anyway, so here's the mix that we have here. These are quite a bit taller and a little different, but I think these are the Costco ones too. These could be the Menton too. I can't remember exactly where I planted what, but I think the Menton ones have not quite opened yet because they're a little slower. So I think there are some that are back here. But we have some different daffodil varieties. And these are the Replete. Oh, see how pretty. It's the same as the other one, pretty much the same variety in the backyard. It's looking more peachier now. My favorite type Yeah, see how dark that one is? So pretty. Love them. And some more of the white ones in here. So I'll have several weeks of these blooming, which is going to be really, really pretty. And then we have our tree starting to bloom. Oh my gosh, our Japanese maple. Love that tree so much. So pretty. And then here we have these that are red. And I'm so confused because I didn't think I had red tulips. Whatever, I thought they were all pink, but they're pretty. I love them actually. They're a pinky red, which I like. And I'll insert a video of them more in bloom when all the rest of them are in bloom, or maybe I'll show them in a later video, but it is really stunning. I do like the mix. I have a variety of daffodils. These Menton, I think these are the Menton that are more kind of peachy pink. And then some more of these replete. Stunning, and look how pretty those pink ones are. So I'd like to keep these here. I mean, that is really pretty. If you look over here, so pretty, but not quite what I had envisioned because they were supposed to be all soft colors. So I don't know why they're all red right here, but I still love it. It's really fun, and I can't wait for them all to be blooming. And that's why I was having a hard time deciding when to film this, because these aren't all quite blooming and they're mostly in the shade, so they're a little bit slower. Love that bright pinky red. Okay, I did my spring porch makeover, so that was fun to film a little bit ago. And these are the Akabonos. Look how pretty, you guys. Oh my gosh. I love them so much. They're just so interesting and frilly and fun, and they've been going for quite some time. And I love them with these pink ones that I got in this mix from probably Home Depot. I'll put the name of those here. And these little daffodils that are starting, these haven't quite performed as well as I want them to, but it's okay because these are just stunning. And I love the yellow with the blue. Try not to get my address. And the wreaths, it's just a really cute combo here. Let's take a look at these. This hyacinth, not amethyst, like I said in the previous video, are still going quite strong. And man, look how pretty those are. I just love them. So I would definitely recommend the Akabono. And I'm not a big yellow person. I do like pale yellow, but I'm picky about my yellows and I love them. Cute with these delicate little daffodils. Love them. So fun. I'm keeping my bunnies there for a little bit, even though Easter's over, because they're so cute. Okay, and then out here we have some white tulips that are still kind of surviving. They're not, I mean, they're not super showy or anything, but the tulips that I really love are these over here, and I don't know the variety. And at first I didn't know if I liked them because they're kind of corally, but they are just so bright and beautiful here. And I'm sorry, I don't know the name. They've been in here since the first year we lived here, so this is going on their 4th year. They're kind of sporadic because I've moved things around and planted things here, but this is what's left. I think I've just decided if I'm going to get tulips, they need to be a little bolder instead of a little softer, because they don't really show up otherwise, and these just pop, and I love them. And I love the coral, which I didn't think I would, but I really do. So those are fun. Those are the last ones that I have to show you guys, and they look really good with this snow cap or something. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, one of my favorite things. Wish I had more of these. So next year I'm going to try to remember that I want to do things that are a little bit brighter, because you can't really see them from a distance. So I'm going to do that next year, is just do something a little bit brighter. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tulip tour, I guess, and we'll see you in my next video. Bye guys. Thank you.